Am I getting anything? I can't hear me at all.
Yeah, I'm getting you.
Oh, I can't hear myself.
We'll kill mine and see if it still has a buzz. Not in the headphones, but in the...
No, the buzz is gone now.
Okay.
Okay, now are you getting...
Hello? Oh,
How
yeah,
did
too
you hear
loud. Whoa, too
How
loud.
did you
Way
hear
too
the
loud.
buzz? Oh, you just couldn't hear
I couldn't
yourself.
hear myself. I can, like, okay.
So then the buzz wasn't you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's not
okay.
hearing yourself.
Very important question.
Uh-oh. Okay.
I've been tasked to ask this question.
Uh-oh.
Welcome to another episode of the American Beer Review Podcast.
Good times with good friends requires good beer. Lucky for us, we know how to pick all three.
We're a group of friends who grew up in the Pacific Northwest, giving us a jump start on our craft beer journey.
Join us today while Brian... I pride myself on not getting to know other people, so do not put that on me.
Alec.
So the bananas up until like the 60s were an entirely different species of banana?
And Chad. It hit me like a wrecking ball.
Review some beer, talk about beer topics, and whatever else comes up. We invite you to pour yourself a drink and hang out with us. My son wants to know how, when you get the crabs, when you go, not fishing, but crabbing, how do you not get bit? Or he's been asking for weeks, and I said I will ask Chad the next time I see him.
You have to attack the crab from the rear.
Yeah, you take him from the rear.
Yeah. If the crab is facing you with its claws out, you just walk away. It's pissed. It's angry. I do not recommend getting your finger caught by it.
Yeah, no.
I've done that. But if it does happen, you do not
Don't snap.
You don't shake it, snap it off.
Okay.
Say all the worst curse words that you know.
Mm-hmm.
You calmly and coolly lift your hand up so that the crab is hanging off your hand.
Like the weight.
And feels gravity. And hopefully it goes, okay, I'm off the ground. I need to let go and I can run away.
Okay.
If that doesn't work and he's taking his vengeance out on you because he's probably been caught 3 or 4 times in his life, then you just take the pliers and you cut the claw off.
Oh, well,
There you go.
I'll probably leave that part out.
But hopefully it's a legal crab and you didn't mutilate it for no reason. But
Right.
sorry, life and limb.
Oh, yeah.
I'm keeping my finger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Yeah. That was
But yeah. No.
So we're doing clams for clam bake next weekend.
Right. We almost didn't get on the calendar, but I made sure it was on the family calendar.
You said it was on the calendar like months ago.
Let me rephrase that. It was not on my son's calendar.
Oh, okay. So we got a clam guy now.
You have a clam
You
guy.
got a clam guy.
Right.
Got to have a clam guy.
I didn't.
And my dad...
I don't have a clam guy.
Nor should you,
Okay.
unless you need copious amounts of clams.
I do not.
So we're going through the list, and there's like 50 people coming.
Jeez.
So
Hopefully the weather's a little better than last time.
it's supposed to be raining and
Perfect.
50 degrees.
That's warmer.
But we got a giant tent, so it should be fine. But my dad found the clam guy. He's like, yeah, just let me know, and I'll go out and grab them all in the morning, and then you can pick them up and whatever, have them.
Okay.
So my dad's calling, and he's like, yeah, we're going to need like 40 pounds of clams. He's like, oh. Yeah, no, I need more than a morning to go harvest 40 pounds of clams. We want to grab a beer, or we want to talk college football as our college football? Well, how about I crack this? We can talk about this, and then...
So, and this is a perfect one to crack.
Yep.
Because I cheated on the podcast.
I saw that.
I cheated on the podcast.
I saw that. It's in my notes.
Because this had been on my list of a beer to... I've seen it on social media for a long time. It had been a beer on my list to get, and I've specifically been talking with my sister about having it. Well, I was getting beers to drink for the Pac-12 championship game and happened to go to Chad's local store for my beer searching, and lo and behold, I found it. I found the Cookie Death.
Yeah, Iron Horse's Cookie Death.
Yeah, another variation of the Irish Death beer. So like it seems to be a series basically that they just are constantly doing different ones. Yeah,
they are. So this one's 7.8% ABV. And then their notes on it.
This was an excellent pickup for Thanksgiving dinner.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
So we step inside Grandma's kitchen with a new chewy creation. The big-bodied beer has notes of caramel, cinnamon, oatmeal, and raisin. To round out the dark, smooth base, no milk required. But obviously just a variation of one of our favorite, collectively, beers with Irish Death.
Which I had just earlier in the week, I think, picked up one of the best deals you can get, a 4-pack of Tall Boys of Irish Death at Costco for like $6.50.
Nice. Yeah.
So,
What?
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 4-pack of 16-ounce Irish Death for like, I think $6.50 is, it might even be more, it might even be less than that.
Nice.
But so every time I go, I'm kind of like,
You could go buy that and sling them outside.
shoot.
make butter.
Right? Well,
So I've recently had Irish Death, and then I accidentally ordered a mug of it at a restaurant the other night because it was a happy hour, and I was like, yeah, I'll get the mug.
Yeah.
Like, oh God, that's a lot of Irish Death.
When I
not a pint mug.
No.
a mug.
Yeah, that's a. Whew.
So I saw, you had rated this on
Yeah.
like 12 hours before I was doing research. So I think you had it like Friday night.
Friday night, yeah.
Yeah.
The smell is pretty similar. I'm not getting any like. There's like maybe a little more sweetness to it. For those who aren't in the area, don't recall the many times we've talked about Irish Death before.
It's different varieties.
Yeah,
and-
but it's categorized as a dark ale.
Yep.
It is not a stout. It's not a porter. It really is just kind of its own conglomeration of like weird different things.
There's lots of, like, if you were a porter person or a stout person, you could pull out
bits of
flavors
yes.
that you like out of this,
Yeah.
but it is a big, dark, malty ale.
And so
This
this,
kicks you in the teeth. There's booze in it,
yeah,
but
this
it's not in a bad way.
is a little sweeter, I think, is the key over the standard Irish
traditional
Death.
Irish Death. Yeah.
And-
Yeah.
And after you said raisins in the description, because I never read the full description,
Mhm.
Man, only
I
one
taste
of us
the-
does research on
I
these
taste
things?
I literally drank it.
I drank a 6-pack.
And I
of
read
it
the back
at
of the
Thanksgiving.
can the other day when I
I
was
taste the
drinking it.
raisin now, and I don't know if that's because you said raisin, but now I'm kind of getting that raisin
Well, because the worst
tartness.
chocolate chip cookie ever,
Is one with
Is-
raisins in it?
well, it's not a chocolate chip cookie. It's the oatmeal raisin cookie.
Oh,
You
yeah.
You're expecting chocolatey and you get raisin, but this
Yeah,
is
yeah. But you're
not
but,
disappointing.
No,
I
but
mean,
this is going to have a chocolatey bit to it
Mhm.
because of the style of it. I honestly wonder how many of those descriptors, caramel, cinnamon, oatmeal, the raisin probably not, but how many of those are in a regular Irish Death?
A lot.
Probably not, like maybe not really cinnamon,
some caramel,
but like you're probably
and
going
a
to get
little
some
bit of
caramel.
chocolatey.
You'll probably get like that oaty, like, but yeah, so to me, this is probably other than, was it Mocha Death?
Didn't they do the
Just
Didn't they do like a Mexican chocolate death?
I don't
too?
think I had that one.
Had that one. And then we did the apple pie.
But what I was saying is this one is probably the most similar,
Oh, yeah,
other than
to the
Mocha Death,
traditional.
to the original one. Because really, you're just ramping up the sweetness. You're kind of hitting a few different notes. Maybe it's that raisiny or the extra cinnamon. And that's the main difference. I think that this is a very comparable, close
And the booze
one.
is around.
It's the same. 7-8, I think, is exactly what Irish Death is. And that's the other thing is some of the different variations. Like the apple pie one was like 12% or something
And that's what we were
ridiculous.
conjecturing whether it was mixed with
Something, yeah.
some sort of hooch to.
So I think it's pretty good. I had 1.5 of them. I think I split the first one with my sister
That's about right for this style of beer.
for the
At
during
our
the,
age?
the football game.
Yeah.
And then switched to that was a full night. I had some boozed eggnog.
Oh, okay.
You're mixing and matching.
A little. I had this. I drank some light beers. I had a light beer from Iron Horse. Their new one in the Release the Beast series is a Hellas Lager.
I have not seen that yet.
I have brought one if you want to
Nice.
try it later.
Nice.
And then we popped bottles of champagne.
I was
Well,
about
just
to
one.
say
Yeah,
the
Then
champagne.
we
for the
had
victory.
champagne. So Yeah, I did not. I was very nervous going into that game. More nervous than any other game this season.
And it came in close.
I mean, we came out we had a big lead.
First half.
Yes.
But you needed to. You needed to with that offense.
But yeah, second half was
a little tough. Not as bad as, was it Oregon State that I was at where we didn't score the entire second half and just held on for like a 2-point win? Like, that was brutal. While watching it in the pouring down rain in Corvallis.
I think teams are better when they have to scrape and fight for a win. Like, if you're just a team that just steamrolls and blows everyone out, I don't think sometimes you see them like in a championship game or at a game that actually means somebody who's been blowing people out. As soon as they aren't blowing someone out, sometimes you can see their mentals just go, I don't know, how do I? So I think UW, they're 13-0, and everyone kind of been snubbing their nose at them, like not wanting to rank them high all year. But if you're out there grinding for your wins, I appreciate that, and I think you're ready for, even though technically it's not a playoff, because
no, it is a playoff.
It is.
Well,
next game is
a playoffs more than one round.
Okay,
that's fair.
And it's not picked by a committee, but that's not going to change anytime soon. But
I think that's gone. That's like if that's your job, and obviously it's not your only job. I think that one is out the window because the big controversy this year was FSU undefeated ACC champions, and then you had Alabama SEC champions with a loss. And I don't remember. I didn't follow Alabama. Was their loss to Georgia?
Texas. Their only loss to Texas.
So that's
but they also had, but the SEC was also pretty mid this year. Like,
yeah, because LSU didn't do well. FSU beat LSU. Yeah, right. They beat somebody else from the SEC. The SEC does the thing that normally the Pac-12 does, where you can't really choose it, but like they cannibalize themselves. So the Pac-12 usually is so like on parity that like every time you think like UW last year, UW is rising, doing well, and then we lose a ridiculous game and knocks us out of the Pac-12 championship and then all that stuff. And you usually have that thing where you have this dumb loss to somebody else in the conference. Well, with Georgia going up and Alabama already losing to Texas, then as soon as Georgia loses, you're like, well, now you've knocked everybody down to a lower level instead of having this one elite team that's going to obviously make the Final Four. Yeah. I think the snub of FSU is a disgrace. I think it's terrible. I think it is the first time that they've gone out of this noted thing of be a Power 5 team, undefeated, win your conference championship. Unless there are five of those teams, those should be the teams that are in.
And that's where I was going. The selection committee is basically over because the Power 5 turns into the Power 4 next year. And then I think that'll just be, all right, we're just going to take conference champions straight up the Power 4. Yeah.
And then almost for some of those, it's going to be then the next best team will still make it, and then you'll pull a few randoms. So like, in theory,
if they expanded it to 8,
it's 12 because it's 12 next year
12.
With buys. So like the top 4 are getting a bye in the first round. So basically, you're going to end up with
then the runner-up in each championship game, and then you make something like then you have like a wild card for the last 4.
So like Ohio State would be in next year.
Yeah, no, I think
Georgia and Alabama easily in next year, but
probably even Oregon.
Yeah, maybe.
Potentially.
I mean, they're still top 10 right now, so possibly. But putting in Alabama with their one loss being to Texas when literally head-to-head things is it. Like, I just don't... Over FSU. With no matter what the injury, they still kept winning. Yeah, it wasn't pretty, but that shouldn't matter.
Yeah,
they still kept winning, and now they have a month to get their second string quarterback healthy,
back up to speed,
and to be able to get him going, so that you're not playing with your third string freshman quarterback. Like it's stupid, and to me just showed like it's an SEC preference. It's a like
for sure. The something that swayed me this morning was listening to like national sports talk radio, which I don't do a ton of.
Yeah.
But whenever we don't have local on the weekends, every single caller, who should make it in? FSU. Why? Well, because I'm a Michigan fan. Who should make it in? FSU. Why? Because it's an easier setup for Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that
they were not happy with that Alabama.
I think that was more telling is going, Alabama's a tough first round.
They probably deserve to be where they're at.
Who?
But Alabama, they realistically, head to head, any
are they
given
one of
Sunday,
the best top 4 teams? Sure. Shouldn't have lost to Texas.
But you have you have an undefeated champion.
Exactly.
That should chump them.
Because that's FSU going, what else can we do?
Yeah,
we beat every single team you put in front of us.
The poor quarterback sends out a tweet this morning after finding out that they didn't make it.
He's like, it's because of me.
And he says, I'm not in this order, but I'm sorry. I wish I'd have broken my leg sooner so we could have showed that this team is more than a quarterback. Basically, because of it being so late, there's not enough time. There's not enough time for the team to show, look, we overcame that. Yeah. It's not just him. Like, how sad is that? Yeah. Like, and these people in a stuffy, I picture it, smoke-filled room making, like, you're making these decisions over these kids' lives, making a ton of money that a lot of them are not actually going to get. Thank God they get some money now.
Yeah.
But it's I could go on for a long time. So I've been
to kind of put a cap on that. They interviewed the committee chair this morning.
Oh, you mean
literally his
Boo?
I thought that was a typo. That his name was Boo. But literally his justification was for Florida. State. Well, yeah, they've got injuries. They're injured, so they're not going to play better. I was like, you can't.
You're projecting.
If that was an SEC school or a blue blood program, it'd have gone, well, they're going to persevere and rise up. That's why we put them in.
Yes.
So it was just, and the guy, like, after he said it, he was like, okay, I'm done talking now.
Right.
And it's like, you bitch.
All I think of every time that guy's on TV, I just think, boo this man. Like, and it just fits because that's his freaking name.
But that's what he's getting paid to do. It's like Roger Goodell. You are paid to be booed at.
Yeah, but your name is Boo.
But like I said,
and they probably wanted Alabama in to sell
tickets,
and the advertising dollars.
Yeah.
For the Michigan Alabama game is gonna be way bigger than the Michigan FSU.
I'm also annoyed. We got to go all the way to Louisiana.
Are you going?
I will not be going. I don't have the money.
If they make the championship game,
I don't have the money. So I have friends. They went to.
Because Texas is doable.
Yeah, they went. So I have friends who went to the playoff game against Alabama in 2016, and they said this year they're like, I'm not. I did that. It was fun, but if I'm going to a game, they're waiting, and so they have already like booked tickets, like flights, and got stuff ready for Texas. Like basically everything you can cancel.
Yeah, right.
So they have everything except for the game tickets so far.
I don't know. I don't know that I enjoy anything. So we've been to a few NASCAR races.
Oh, right.
If you told me a NASCAR race, even championship race, is $1,000 for a ticket, I go,
no.
I mean,
that's tough.
I can watch it on TV.
Yeah, it really is. I think about that, like the Taylor Swift stuff. People paying absurd amounts of money to go to a Taylor Swift concert, and I'm like.
While she currently has a movie out of her concert.
Yes, and it's like, I can't, I'm way too, like...
frugal?
Yeah, I mean, realistically...
I'd like my money. I would like to be able to retire someday.
Yeah, and let's face it, I don't make nearly enough, so it's not going to happen. If $1,000 were the same as, like... Okay, today I just went out and bought some coffee when I normally don't buy coffee at a stand. Like, if it's like that, if that's what it costs me to go, sure. Guess what? That's not my life. So, it would be literally just for the experience. It'd be tough. I heard somebody talking recently about going to the F1 race in Vegas and how they dropped a lot of money on it.
Huge.
And even at one point, I think it was Friday night. He said he got after it, had a lot of fun, but he was like Saturday. He's like, temper yourself. Paid a lot of money to be here. Don't be that guy.
Right.
Let's just pace
Especially
ourselves.
with that late night
you gotta,
start.
You got to make it until 10 o'clock.
Yeah, like, and I heard somebody else talking about how some concert, and it was like, you know, this guy probably paid $300 for these front row seats, and he is literally like hammered and falling asleep for the concert or whatever it was. And it's just like,
Well, the F1
there's too many other things. So no, I'm not paying for it. I'm not going. It's also a Monday night for the national championship.
Yeah.
The F1 race, you heard about that, the manhole cover or whatever. But people were like, I paid $2,000 to watch practice because I couldn't afford seats for the race.
Yeah. I don't know, $2,000, but a few $100s at least.
Well, they probably got like the luxury
depending on what,
or whatever. But
that's true.
And you canceled practice, like,
and you kicked us
and
all
then
out.
kicked him out before anything could happen. Yeah, it's
because they didn't want to staff the places.
From people who were there, it sounds like it was.
There was a lot of learning that happened on the fly by the organizers.
But F1, they said, puts on a better, because they know that the money is coming in.
Yeah.
It is, they were like, you go to the bar, it is actual bartenders making mixed drinks. It is not just like canned cocktail, here you go, pour draft, here you go. There is like the level of stuff and what they're doing is top notch, but it makes sense when you're spending $500 million or whatever it was to just build the track.
I'd rather spend a lot less and get a can of beer.
Well,
I genuinely thought so. After I watched the manhole, I was going to sit down and watch practice, and the manhole cover thing happened. I was like, well, that's it. The track should have gone through Old Vegas, and you could have the straightaway be that covered section.
Oh my God, the Fremont experience.
But so in the lead up to the race, you could have the actual track set up that's under the Fremont, and you could have people months in advance being able to walk on the track, take photos on the track. You could have signage and advertising. They could have had a car out there, and it's covered.
Yeah, but
and it's already foot traffic, so you weren't.
With how big those barriers were,
but
so
it'd be too narrow.
But how cool would it be see those cars bombing underneath that big old screen in Fremont?
Oh, and they'd never allow it, but you do the zip line ride
over the
track.
Oh yeah, totally.
Dude, do you know how many times I've seen that thing stuck?
Oh, right.
That would be.
But having the track around the sphere, if the sphere wasn't there, I think the race wouldn't have looked as cool. Because that kind of bombing up and down. You're going down the strip, but then you're immediately hanging a left and going in the area that you don't walk because you don't want to get mugged when you're in Vegas.
So I watched the replay Sunday morning because I did not stay up until.
I was still up after the.
It was surprisingly earlier.
So we watched it. Yeah, it was surprisingly earlier than I thought.
Yeah. So I didn't watch it until Sunday.
Because we all texted it, and I was like, nope, not watching it. Yeah. Turns out I did.
Other than the aerial shots, it just looked like a street course race.
Yeah, there was nothing
Vegas-y about it. They just put so much of the... You have to for safety and whatever, but...
From what I can tell, though, I don't like watching F1. It's just not that entertaining to me. This was one of the more entertaining races. They were overtaking each other. There were, like, sketchy turns and things. So, like, I was here for that part of it.
And he won. Verstappen won 18 of the 20 races for the season. So, he won.
Again.
Awesome.
Yeah.
He's locked up the championship a couple weeks ago. Anyway, Cookie Death. Are we fridging this?
I wasn't sure if we were waiting until the end or not.
No, let's go ahead and do it. This is seasonal for me. Obviously, because it's a seasonal beer.
That's what I would love to. Sorry, Chad.
No, it's okay.
I really wonder. I almost want to know like how many of these are coming back? How many of these are on constant rotations? Because it was probably almost a year ago that we did the apple pie one.
Yep, and we haven't seen that one back. But like the Mocha
Death,
that
one was so rare too.
Yeah,
because that was on draft only.
Yep, and I haven't seen Mocha Death in a while. So I'm wondering, like, are these on like 2-year cycles? Are they on like
keep some demand going?
Yeah, I don't know.
So I've seen a lot more other Iron Horse get put into the cold case. It used to just be Irish Death, and then
High Five Hef, and whatever their IPA,
and something else, and then whatever the seasonal Irish Death. Now they're getting a whole lot more of all their other offerings.
So you're seasonal on this one?
Seasonal, this would be on the inside fridge just because when I buy it, I'm going to drink it.
Yeah.
It's not I'm not going to buy and sit on it.
Mm-hmm.
because I don't do that with Irish Death anyways. Like when I go out to buy Irish Death, the intention is I'm going to drink at least 2 of these and not do anything else the rest of the day.
Yeah, I might have done that on one of the other nights.
There you go.
I'm trying to remember what night that was. Yeah, this same seasonal. It basically just becomes my this season Irish Death.
Yep.
That I would just grab it. It's not too different. Like you talked about the Mexican chocolate one. I don't like spicy, so I stayed away from it. Probably the main reason I didn't. But like whenever I could find Mocha Death, I'm grabbing it. Whenever I could find there was another one before this that was similar-ish kind of style. But they also do a winter one called Cozy Sweater, which is a little different.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
But I'll always do their kind of seasonal dark ones. So this is a good fit for this time of year. So yeah, I'd beer fridge it seasonally.
Yeah, I think this falls into the Irish Death seasonal. If I see it, if I haven't had it, I'm going to grab it.
Mm-hmm. Like you mean that season, if you hadn't had it that season.
Well, so this is a brand new one. I don't know. This is the first year for...
Nope, never been around before.
Yep. So anytime they release a new Irish Death, I will drink a new Irish Death.
But what if this one is back next year?
Maybe. I don't think it's different enough from an Irish Death for me to make it
I can't decide whether that's a positive or a negative.
Right.
But I agree.
It's a beer I like and enjoy. Yes. If I see it, it would be a coin flip between grabbing this and grabbing Irish Death. I would probably grab this just because it stands out. Mm-hmm. Right? Because you see Irish Death
especially if you know you're having people over for the holidays, having that kind of funky, different option. Yeah. If I saw it on tap, it'd be worthwhile.
Throw it in somewhere. So it's seasonal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
I should have got a can of Irish Death to do a side by side.
I almost bought one. I debated it.
Kind of a gateway to a full blown Irish Death.
Okay, so maybe I'll sit down and do it.
Yeah.
But I still have one more, at least one more of my regulars that I almost brought today
to do a side by side.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it at home.
Right.
Yeah. Speaking of death.
Yeah.
Yes, we have another beer. The one thing I wanted to touch on before we left this one is they changed up some of their branding.
Yeah.
Especially online for Iron Horse. And so they're obviously independent craft beer, but now they're indie.
Oh, they've been indie for a while.
They've called it indie?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They've still claimed indie for a while.
That was the first time.
They always have the You're Welcome.
No, yeah. But not independent, but indie beer.
I do also appreciate it is very similar.
Mm-hmm.
You
got the skull and crossbones.
They really just changed a slight coloration, swapped out some of the gold, added the blue, added the cookies. I mean, the side writing on it is still the same as what it would be. So dark, smooth brew,
You're not going to confuse it not being based off Irish Death.
Yeah.
And so now we've got...
that is black.
Yeah, this is probably one of the heaviest hitting beers.
Yeah, dude, you hate us. You're going to start us off.
This is Cafe Death from Revolution Brewing out of Chicago.
Okay. This to me though, you're just pouring it. This is a perfect already.
It's heavy
this season.
Feel this. The glass is physically heavy. This is another one of those beers. It's just.
You said Cafe Death.
Yeah.
There it is.
DETH.
Oh, okay.
So 14.8% alcohol by volume. Thank you, Thor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is fresh whole bean coffee from Chicago's own Dark Matter Coffee. Stirs the senses in this barrel-aged imperial oatmeal stout, haunting aromatics of roast and dried fruit enter the realm of toasted walnut and rich chocolate. And I think he said from Revolution Brewing out of Chicago.
So it looks like they have a regular version that is Death's tar barrel aged imperial oatmeal stout.
Yeah.
So this is just a ramped up coffee version of it. I couldn't quite tell if you said that in there. I was trying to listen and read at the same time.
Yeah, there's coffee in it.
Well, yes, we knew that part, but so there is a just Death.
No, and I didn't know that. So it's Chicago's.
Oh, that's barrel aged.
Yeah, it's Chicago's largest independent brewery.
Revolution Brewing.
Mm-hmm. Oh. They're one of the top. They're top 50 in the country of overall breweries, including macros.
Hey, great job doing some homework.
Did.
I'm impressed.
Sure did.
I'm just here to drink beer.
It's
and
nice.
talk
It's
football.
nice when the brewery puts all the important information on the
online?
website. Yeah.
The cool thing, so
Dude, that is so freaking good.
Mm-hmm.
so this is
Yes.
the DETHcast,
Yeah.
Yes.
a little Metalocalypse reference. Do you know where the Death name comes from?
I do not.
The DETH
Yeah. In this beer specifically, or
for the
presumably
OG.
their OG.
No.
It's the dude's last name.
Seriously?
Jason Death is the founder of
Revolution?
Yeah.
Oh, that is.
How do you not make it Death Brewing?
So this is his, like, I don't want to knock it, but I think this is like second or third brewery that he's founded.
Oh, interesting.
So he's had a couple, and I don't think they ever got to like this scale
And
or
didn't-
scope, but like they just
Didn't make it?
didn't make it
Huh.
or whatever. But this one's been around since 2010, so
Okay.
long time. But yeah, he was a head brewer, or started in the trenches, worked his way up to like a brewmaster for. I should have it written down. Somebody else.
Dude, I'm impressed with the homework you've already done.
But then this is the one that like took off, and I think they're in like a historic building.
Yeah, like looks like a very cool place to visit and go have a pint.
Okay. Put it on our list.
I put it on. I've put it on my list
least-
if I ever make it to Chicago.
Chicago would
Yeah.
be easier.
It's a little
to get
bit
to
more-
than North Dakota.
That's a pretty good hub.
Listen, how about
You
we
get
go
all-
to
you-
Chicago and then drive to North Dakota?
No, I'd still fly.
So
I'd
they
hop
have,
on a plane to Fargo.
So this is a Tavor drop, right?
Yes.
Because they get pretty good distribution. I think it's like 11 or 12 states, mostly Midwest,
I mean, that makes sense.
Illinois, Iowa. I think maybe the Dakotas, Ohio, but then they touch the East Coast with like New York, New Jersey. So
And I've seen them every once in a while in a Total Wine.
Revolution?
out here,
Yeah. Yeah. Very rarely, kind of this time of year when it's cold, and you see more of their barrel
Oh,
aged
okay.
stuff.
Proudly brewed only in Chicago. So they're not like,
contract brewing.
or having like, oh, we're from Chicago, but we get brewed in like, I can't think of a suburb of Chicago right now, but I was trying to.
Never been there, so I don't know.
I've been there for about 14 hours. We flew in to go to a friend's wedding in Michigan. Flew in, I crashed on the floor of my sister and her friend's hotel room. They had plans to do other stuff. I wandered around for like a few hours in the morning and then spent a long time, kind of early smartphones, trying to figure out how to get on the right subway
Oh,
to go where I was supposed to go.
you didn't wake up on the wrong side of the river in
That's
Portland?
a different time. And then
It happens.
they were going to a Cubs game. I ate Chicago deep dish pizza and then left. So it was like landing by like 11 o'clock at night, and probably by like 1 p.m. the next day I was gone.
Nice.
So
and
hot
I've never
take.
been back.
Chicago deep dish in
Ooh.
Chicago. You got to.
Yes.
Have you ordered it here?
No.
Yeah.
No. And I will say this. We had a friend who's with us who's from Chicago. We sit down at the table. There's like close to 10 of us. And we're like, okay, so like me and my sister, like we'll split up, like we'll get a pizza, like you guys get a pizza. And he was like,
Oh
no.
We're all
like
splitting a pizza.
He's like, we might not even get 2 for all of us. And we're like, what? And then you realize that like halfway through one slice, you're like,
Oh no!
Oh,
I wanted
oh.
a slice of pizza.
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. This is back to the beer. This is great.
yeah.
Like I said, it's physically heavy.
Yeah.
It's dense. And if I hold it up to the light, there's absolutely no light coming through.
No.
This is just a thick, dark, not thick as a Drecker beer.
No,
but
not
just
like
thick
smoothie.
as this beer has. Since it was brewed and put into a barrel, it's lived some life. There are demons in this brew.
So it's part of a Deepwood series, which I did not pick up on or do any research on. So
Oh, I did
obviously
see that
they
on there,
have some sort of a
It's their
barrel-aged
barrel age program.
program.
which makes sense. Sounds
But the aforementioned demons, I know this is 14%.
It doesn't feel.
It doesn't feel like 14. Like even though it gives you that kind of caramely kick at the end, you get that
It's the barrel, like that cream almost. That you.
I'm not getting so much vanilla out of it, but it just imparted.
Realizing that it is this beer makes you realize it is in barrels, and that's the only reason that you're like, oh, this could be kind of boozy.
The smell a little bit.
Yeah. It's kind of now that I'm halfway through my taster, it's a little barley winey without being a barley wine.
I could kind of see that.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of that. And I think
that's a nice sipper, though. It's a nice sipper beer.
What's disguising it is the coffee.
The coffee. That bitterness is really trying hard to cut through that booze.
The booziness.
Yeah. What's really interesting, I mean, just scrolling through their social media, I don't know when this normally got released. Okay, here's the first one. So I'm back to November 10th scrolling, and that's the first that I see of this beer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but a lot of other, they're into like a Christmas beer, a Christmas beer red ale with ginger and orange peel.
Okay, I can see that.
But that's the first time where I see.
I don't want it, but I can see that.
Yeah, today's talking about deep wood. So, and they got barley wine. Yeah, I'm not mad about this. This is the style that I was talking about for this time of year, sitting down. This comes in. This is the difference though. 12-ounce can compared to usually we're getting 16s of these.
Oh, this type of beer is the reason I'm grateful that we switched to doing just
not
taster
one
cups
of each
instead of a 12-ounce can, because I may have to Uber home if I had.
If you had a full one of these, yeah, especially when you are putting them in the same podcast as starting with a 7.8,
right? But this would be an awesome. I don't want to say Christmas morning, but Christmas Eve, something sitting around a fireplace, hanging out with family. I don't have anything to do. I don't have anywhere to drive.
Yeah. Late morning.
Yeah. There you go. After stockings, as everybody else is opening presents, you just crack one of these. Not that it's a Christmassy beer.
No.
But same thing could be said for like a snow day.
Yeah.
So, snow day.
This is a great snow day beer.
Kids are out of school. They're going to be playing in the yard. I don't have to go to work.
I'm going to sit in front of the window and watch them and make sure they don't do anything dumb while I drink this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's interesting too that this style is now made its way where I don't know, do they sell it in a 4-pack of 12 ounces? Do they only sell individual cans? But this style used to be in some places still do it, are only in 750 ml.
Right.
Bottles.
Yeah.
Which to me, that's a lot.
It's a lot of booze.
A 16 is kind of the max that I want of this.
Yes.
Unless I'm sharing it.
Yeah.
That's the difference and you're starting to see some are doing the smaller bottles. Instead of a 750 ml, maybe you're doing a 12 ounce or you're doing a
12, not a 22.
Yeah. And getting even smaller.
And I'd almost like to see this one in a 22.
You want
this? That'd be good for a split.
For a split, yes.
If that's what we were doing, if we were
just actually
sitting here watching football, if you got a 22 of this, and each of us gets a glass, watches the game. Yeah, no,
that's not bad.
So it's actually not cold enough out.
No, ironically, it's one of those days that's actually kind of warm.
No, I don't have my long underwear on today.
In the house?
Not today.
You have a heater.
You would wear long underwear instead of just turning up the heat?
Yeah, I'm a skinny bitch now.
Huh.
Yeah, it sucks.
No, but you have a heater.
I know. It's awful.
You can just turn it on.
Oh, you're saying it doesn't go well?
Doesn't matter.
If only we knew an HVAC guy.
No. It's just physically my body's oh no, I'm cold now.
Huh.
I don't have all the padding. It was last year trying to just get because I dumped all the weight right before Christmas. So it was used to just walk out. I'd be the shirt and t-shirt guy. Oh. Shorts and t-shirt guy in the middle of winter.
Yeah, no.
Now it's, oh no.
I don't understand that.
No. I don't mind the cold and the rain.
The rain...
I don't mind.
I will tolerate
but
more.
I just sit at a desk all day, so it just sucks all the heat out of me.
Right now I'm in one of our extra bedrooms for when I work from home, but we don't turn the heat on in there at all the entire rest of the week, except for the days that I'm working in there. It literally takes me until 3 o'clock to finally be okay, now it's not freezing. Like I have the heat cranked like in there to try and like get it back to normal functioning temperature.
So we didn't have a heater for most of the summer.
Which makes sense. Fine.
No, it wasn't working.
Okay, but do you need the heat in the summer?
No, but we actively knew it wasn't working.
Oh.
And then as it got closer, it was the...
Now we have to get it fixed.
So we need the heat to work. Yeah. And at one point I was out there banging on it with a wrench and it would work.
I feel like you talked about that.
Yeah, until it turned off. It works now.
Oh, yeah.
No, ours is 72 degrees now every single day.
If I had something that could maintain better, ours do the like...
Central.
Ours like... Yeah, that's not central air. So it like... Heat goes on for a while, ramps up till you're like about to start sweating, and then it turns off, and you get back down to like, okay, I'm gonna grab a blanket, and then it runs back up, and so.
Yeah, no way. We had fireplaces that kept it a little bit warm, but it was panic. So this for me, this would be an event beer. I think is kind of where we're going. If there was a bomber of this or a couple cans of this for watching a game, hanging out, or campfire.
I'm in a social setting.
We're all going to split it. Delicious. At 14.8, this does not. I mean, I guess I put it in the beer fridge to have a can for that kind of setting. This is not a regular go-to.
If this, I assume, is a seasonal release, if like they were like, the only way to get it is like a 4-pack of 12-ounce cans, I might buy it and then have those 4-ounce cans through the season.
Right.
And grab one every once in a while
Possibly
to
into
do
the
that.
next season.
Yeah. No, because like I think I'd want to make sure that and they're only in cans, so it's not like you're aging it.
Right.
Like don't leave it in a can for 3 years. That's a bad idea. But I would definitely try to do that. I always want some version of this throughout the holidays. Usually this is my get at the brewery. Or get at the place.
Yeah.
Like getting...
Because you can get a
5 or 10 ounce pour
Mm-hmm.
is kind of perfect. So this would be like if I lived nearby there, each year I would go in and around the season and when I'm in there a couple times, if that's my like go-to. Like 7 Seas. I talked about it before. I'll almost always get a pour of their barrel aged. Like every few months, whatever the new one they have is, I pop in and I'll grab it and have that as part of my trip. So that's more where I see this one, but would gladly have it to like take and share with somebody or do that.
Yeah, well, and so their distribution in those 11 states. I don't know if you found cans of Revolution up here.
That
might just be like keg distribution because if you can, not New York, but if I'm in Ohio or wherever, and they had Revolution Brewing, and this is one of the things on tap, not necessarily just Chicago, I would be intrigued.
Yeah.
And go after it.
Yeah, and I did put a Tavour alert on Revolution. I get a little blurb when they get something new. I'm probably going to get one of their normal finger quotes offerings because everything that was on the site when I ordered this was all barrel aged stuff. I would love to try the non aged version of a couple of their beers.
Well, and I think that comes down to the price point. Because once you hit Tavour, it's gonna be a spendier ring.
It wasn't terrible.
No, it wasn't terrible, but you're not buying a light beer on Tavour.
Yeah,
or a pale ale
with the booze in it. The price per can is way more palatable because it's the same. It's the same price no matter how much diesel's in it. But I would say this is probably one of my top 5 beers we reviewed.
Really? Whoa. You go that high with it?
Yeah, I think just from a beer standpoint. But that said, this is a outside cooler beer or an event beer. Yeah, I'm bringing it. This is even more. I'm picking this up. I know when it's going to be drank. I don't see myself.
You're not sitting.
I've never because I buy and sit on enough beer already.
Yeah,
I don't need a barrel aged beer that is really on a timer.
Yeah,
to consume. But overall, very tasty beer if you are a barley wine aficionado or barrel age aficionado, this is definitely a pickup, especially in a 12. If you can find it in a 12 locally where you're at, that is a nice little entry. Way better than back in the day doing 22s.
Well, and the coffee takes the edge off of it.
Because they have this non-coffee. They also have Death by Cherries.
Could also be good.
Yeah.
So the whole Deepwood series, you can buy a season ticket. So then you get like a discount on a 4-pack of all of their Deepwood releases for like the whole year.
This is another one. Then if you were local,
they have. I mean, you're looking
gimmicks.
At like 9 to 12 different versions throughout the year.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm not mad about it.
Swig's a little bit much, huh?
Yeah, don't chug that.
Yeah, this is definitely sipper.
Yeah. Sip it, folks.
Yeah, but it does say some of these do come on Tavor because they are not allowed to legally ship them to you. Probably Illinois laws.
Oh, could be.
Yeah.
That they can give them to Tavor and Tavor can sell them, but they can't
Directly ship.
They can't, it's...
So
they can ship, you can go pick up, or they can ship to you in state, is a lot of those laws.
Weird. All right, well, Brian's just about to finish his glass.
dude, it's been a nice sipper though.
It's a perfect sipper. I just took the last slug of
I'm
mine.
gonna keep sipping on mine the rest of the day.
Oh, I thought you finished it.
No.
There's some left in the can. If you
I
want
have to, if I start seeing double on the board, it's just bad news. So
We'll
I'm
just
gonna
slowly
stop
start pouring the rest of the can into his glass for the rest of the afternoon.
Right? Well, he doesn't have to go anywhere.
That's part of it, yeah.
All right. Well, our glasses aren't quite empty. Hopefully yours are. And we'll catch you next time.
Okay, and then what did Chad put as next? It is Emperor Citra. The king is dead. Long live the emperor.
If you've enjoyed what you just heard, make sure you subscribe to get new episodes when they drop, and don't forget to leave us a review. If you want to see what we're drinking when we're not on the pod, you can follow us on social media at ABR Review. Feel free to send us any beer suggestions that we can make Chad go buy off of Tavor.